But yeah, Clark, I mean, this is the first time we've talked. I've seen your posts over the years in the group. Really great to chat to you as well. And I just want to kind of start by learning a little bit more about you, who you are, where you're from, what you were doing in your life before all of this online business stuff.
Yeah, man. So before hopping into your program, I was working security in downtown Seattle, like many different businesses. So I was working like 60, 70-hour weeks from
Wow.
like 5 a.m. to like, I wouldn't get home to like 6 p.m. usually.
Crazy.
At first, I started off doing drop shipping. So I started like an anime store drop shipping.
Oh, yeah.
I scaled that Instagram to like 5K followers. One of my Facebook ads blew up. I think I just got lucky, but I made like 5K the first month.
Oh,
But and then I think I got hit with like a cease and desist from like Naruto and like Dragon Ball Z. So I had to shut that down like real quick.
damn.
So then I just kind of gave up on the whole online business thing. But then I think I saw one of your ads on YouTube. So I was just like, man, fuck it. Let me just jump in. And so I got in, and then I saw one of your strategies on like a freelancer profile for like Upwork. So I started the Upwork right away, paid like $100 to like get those connects. And like 2 days later, I got my first client for a web design. It was like $200. I ended up actually losing money and losing a lot of time on that 200. But that like just kind of opened my eyes like, oh, damn, this could actually work. So like every day I wake up, I'd be at my job, just on my phone, like sending out like proposals. And my next client, like I got a meeting scheduled during my lunch at my job. And then during that 30 minutes at my job, I made like $500. I was like, dude, this is insane.
Yeah.
And so shortly after, like I got let go of my job, and I wasn't even like nervous about it because I was already making money online. So I'd wake up, send proposals, go to the gym, take a meeting, and then have like money in my account. It was insane.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's a very fast process as well. Like once you got in. Okay. Well, in terms of like online business in general, I'm kind of wondering what your thought process was behind that as well, because you're working very long hours in security and all of that. Maybe talk through like a little bit about what your daily life was like during that period before you discovered online business, and what actually sparked your interest into looking to make money online. Like, do you remember that moment that you went through?
I do. And it was actually before I was working in security. I was working at an office job where I was working with my stepdad at the time. And so if I mess up anything in the office, like he would yell at me in front of everybody. So that's when I started looking for like online business stuff. And I was making pretty good money at the office, but like just working with my dad, it was such a pain. So I had quit, started doing security. And I started doing security because I got to stand around. If I got to stand around, I could go on my phone. So that's when I started searching for something to do. And that's kind of how I stumbled across you.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's so cool that you like jumped in and started getting results and you're able to quit your job and all of that. And right now you're in the Philippines, you mentioned. So tell us a little bit about that transition. Yeah. What made you move from the US to the Philippines?
Yeah, so I was living in downtown Seattle. Life was pretty sweet, but it got like pretty boring. And then I'd wake up, work for like 2 to 4 hours, and then hit the gym with my friends. But then I'd have the rest of the day, like essentially do nothing. So I just figured, why don't I just start traveling? I'm location independent with my income. So I went to Chicago, Mexico, Colombia, Philippines, like Canada, started traveling. And then Philippines is really cheap. So I decided to just like settle here.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, we're definitely like an action taker, like once you want to do something, you just do it and you jump right in. I'm kind of wondering in terms of the decision to join my program in particular, really appreciate you joining my program, by the way, but what was that decision like for you? Because, you're watching the webinar, you're going through it. You probably had some doubts in your mind. Do you remember what that moment was like?
I think I was sold on it like before I even saw your webinar. When I saw your ad on YouTube, you just made it sound like stupid simple. You said, how about instead of like doing this business, how about you just get 4 businesses to pay you $2,500 a month? I was like, dude, why not? I don't even think I watched your webinar all the way. I think you just went and bought.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, I'm kind of similar as well. Like once I kind of heard or like discovered that idea and heard about it, I was just like, hey, that sounds so simple. Like, is that actually possible? And I think a lot of people just don't realize you can literally just start an online business and start selling something anyway. Like they don't see that they have that agency, that ability. And that's kind of the most powerful thing once you realize with drop servicing you can sell a service to a company, have a freelancer deliver it, and just get a few clients. You can make enough to start traveling and be chilling. So a lot of people kind of overcomplicate online business and business in general, I think, but it really just comes down to being able to offer something, right? Like,
I think too, like, right, when I was working my job at security, I was working like 60 hours. I would take home like $3,000. 2 days after they let me go, I got like 2 clients for like $2,000. I was like, dude, I should have done this sooner. It's insane.
Crazy, man. Yeah, that's insane. Okay. Now, that's really cool. Like, your story is kind of similar to mine because I was working in a call center. I had like a master's degree. I was earning minimum wage, and I was just like, man, I want to travel. I want to actually do stuff. And I started looking into online business, discovered it. And I was doing calls like and at work, like in between breaks and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
So that's always a crazy experience to have. Awesome, man. So in terms of your journey, like you've kind of gone through the whole thing of going through the course, getting results pretty quickly. It sounds like you just implemented a couple of strategies in the program for getting clients, and then you were just off to the races. I am kind of wondering, what made you decide on website design as your service?
I decided on web design because before I got into your program, after my first dropshipping business failed, I kept building websites to try and like do print on demand to like dropship other stuff. And then one day, my manager saw one of my websites and she said, "Oh, this is really nice." And I was like, dude, I went home that night and I was like, why don't I just do websites? It was kind of just like that. It was that simple.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you found a really good niche for yourself as well in terms of what you're selling. So, I mean, tell me a little bit about today. Like, what is your lifestyle now? What does your day look like? You know, what are you up to?
Yeah, so my day-to-day is pretty much like the same thing. Every day is to me, I love it. So I'll wake up around maybe like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. I'll work until like maybe 10 a.m. Then I'll hit the gym, come home, chillax, hit the pool maybe. Then I'll go to like boxing class, come home, have dinner, watch James Bond, go to bed. On the weekends, I'll like travel. I'll like explore Manila.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, once we do this and we build the business and focus on travel and really chill, like, we don't need to focus so much on building a massive business and making a lot of sales and hiring people and stuff. But it does sound like you're kind of moving in that direction now where you're a bit more motivated and looking to hit bigger goals.
Yeah. But once you see like even just a little bit of results, like for me, it was easy to just like take my foot off the gas because it seems kind of like this whole thing seems kind of like a cheat code, just making money online.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, life is not about working all the time. Like, why would I want to make $500K a year if I'm working 10 hours a day just to be able to afford maybe like a yacht and like a nice watch that I'm not going to use to look cool? Like, it doesn't make any sense from a lifestyle standpoint. And it's really just like a competition between dudes to like see who can look the richest. So I think that people kind of underestimate just, you know, making a good enough income to be able to do whatever the fuck you want. That's kind of the most important thing in my mind, is just having the freedom. And if you build a job for yourself where you're working all the time, that's no longer freedom. And it kind of defeats the purpose of what we're doing in building an online business. So I think like the whole philosophy behind drop servicing is building something small on your laptop so you can do what you want with your time, whether that be travel or spending time with family. And of course, like, some people do go on to build massive businesses and make 100K a month or whatever it may be. But I don't think everybody has that goal. And I think that's totally fine. I feel like Instagram and stuff these days kind of brainwashes us into thinking we need to become rich and live in Dubai or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
And it does sound like for you, like, you enjoy working with clients. You enjoy having those relationships and building websites for them and like getting good results for them, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you get
absolutely.
satisfaction from that?
Yeah, I do. But I mean, like, I guess you don't only get so much satisfaction from like just building a website. But when I had like my plumbing client, like my painting client, they told me, "Oh, hey, did an extra 30K this month because of your ads." Like that. That's insane. That feeling's crazy.
Did you like screenshot that, for instance, and like ask them if you can use that?
I have one of the interviews fully recorded, and then I have like text also screenshotted.
Yeah. Okay. And you don't currently have like campaigns running offering that service to other painting companies?
No. I have a few painting companies I'm talking to right now just for the front end offer.
Yeah.
And then currently right now, they're just in that nurturing phase.
That's wild, man. Yeah, honestly, your business right now, you can very easily blow it up because you're getting good results on the front end, but you just don't have the systems to scale and send more emails, make more calls, send more text messages, do more follow-up, offer more things. You don't have those systems in place right now, and you're missing major opportunities because you already have very powerful case studies and an offer that's converting very well for you. So we really need to focus on getting those set up as soon as possible, in my opinion. And the thing is, this is not going to take away from your lifestyle either and what you're currently doing, right? Because once you build these systems and they're in place, they're running without you. And I think one thing that I notice with a lot of people like yourself, because I think like for you, you do like having control over every aspect of your business as well, because you know you can get good results with it. And you try to automate it here and there with friends, but that doesn't really count. That feels comfortable. Like, oh yeah, I'll just work with my friend. Yeah, it's all good. It feels very comfortable because they're your friend. But when you're hiring somebody you don't know and giving them control over different aspects of your business, it can feel quite stressful. So I think that's kind of a thing that we need to work on in terms of building the actual SOPs, the literal documents with the steps and the videos explaining every aspect of your business. And that's where we have something that's sellable as well. Because once you build those systems and SOPs, you can build a business that you can sell one day too. So that's something we should really be focusing on in terms of scaling the revenue and building the automation aspects, because you're kind of like you mentioned, like you hit a certain income, you start chilling, but you have so much potential, man. And I would love to see you like use that potential and build something massive just because you can do it. Like, why not do it? You know what I mean? I think that one other thing that I would be interested in learning a little bit about when it comes to your service, you kind of discovered that you were really good at web design, you enjoyed doing it. I'm kind of wondering what tilted you towards doing cold calling versus like cold email or LinkedIn outreach or continuing Upwork?
So with Upwork, there was a time where I was like, when I was moving, that I was off the platform. So like I just hired somebody else to like manage my platform for me. So my profile was like top rated, 100% success rate, all 5-star reviews. And then I was gone for like a month. And in that month that I was gone, when I logged back into my profile, the guy who was managing my profile, all of a sudden there's 2-star reviews, 3-star reviews. And it kind of like just trashed my account.
Damn.
So sending proposals was then kind of hard because nobody would reply.
Yeah.
Because all the recent reviews that were like just crappy.
Yeah.
But I might have gotten lucky like one time. Some guy saw those reviews, said, oh, totally get it. I explained him the situation, and then I made a sale for like $3,000. But since then, like pretty much wasting money on Connects now at this point with Upwork. So I switched directly to cold calling. And since I had a lot of time, I just started to like master that skill.
Yeah, I get that. You'll find people that can do that cold calling just as well as you can. And I think with the Upwork profile, you could even just start a new one and use some strategies to quickly get more amount earned. Because you'll power, like the thing with it, like I know that sounds scary, but the thing with it, like you don't necessarily need to do that because that's not your main thing. But I'm just saying we could think about doing that later because you would easily get really good reviews coming back in because you're really good at sales. So as long as you can get a few people on a call with you, you'll close deals pretty quickly. And you can even just, like if you want to do that later, what you can do is get your clients to hire you directly and just send them the money, or even your friends, and then just get the reviews and the amount earned built up a bit on the profile, 5 stars, 2K earned. And then you can already start getting the ball rolling again in terms of getting it back up to what it was. But maybe the current one works fine as well. So
that's actually kind of like what I was doing. So like if I made a sale on Upwork for like 2,000, I would just take them off the platform and then hire me on the platform for 100 so they could leave a review and then pocket like the rest without paying Upwork.
Yeah, common strategy for sure. That's awesome. Because you were saying when we were chatting in the message that you, like the way you were saying it was you were thinking that you need to make a lot more. But like, do you actually want to make a lot more? Like, are you pretty happy with where you're at? You know what I mean?
No, man, I want to make like a ton more.
Yeah, you want to make a ton more.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you feel is like holding you back the most from achieving that right now?
I'm not really sure. Maybe I think it's just my outreach strategy. Like right now, I'm doing like cold calls from the Philippines to the US.
Do you have good data on, like, do you have an understanding of how many calls you need to make to close a deal? Do you like have those numbers?
So usually if I do like 50 calls, I'll get like 25 people who answer. From the 25, maybe 5 to 10 will be like warm leads and I'll get like 2 sales, right?
Got you. Yeah. 2 sales from 50 calls though.
But before the cold calling strategy, I was using Upwork, and then I got
Yeah.
Upwork to like scale really fast.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Like, but that 50 calls is really, really good. Like that close rate, like 2 calls from 50 is a 4% close rate on cold
But then
calling.
like to nurture the leads, it takes about like 3 weeks before like the first interaction, following up, and then like after like that third week, then they make a purchase.
Okay. Well, what's stopping you from bringing others on board?
I have brought others on board back when I was like in Seattle, but it was just kind of like having to manage them. So I'd bring friends on to do the cold calling, and then I'd have some friends like go to the meetings, but then they would just drop off on the lead nurture. So then I'd have to like step in, manage it myself. So I just figured it'd be a lot easier if I just did it myself.
Okay, but I mean, usually, like what I find is when you hire friends, and I've done that in the past too. The dynamic is not really ideal, and that you can't really tell them what to do and be really like tell them exactly to follow this SOP and be their kind of boss versus being their friend. When you're their friend, everything's more chill, and typically the SOPs don't get followed as much as you would like. But it sounds to me like that's a really high close rate, man. That's obviously your offer is working really well. So all we need to do is figure out how to scale that efficiently. So
And the first like 2-3 years, it was easy to sell a website for like 2,000 US. Whereas like now with AI and stuff, like business owners are a lot more, I get more yeses if I like cut the price in half. So like 1,000 US.
okay, once you've sold that, like what is your back end? What are you selling on the back end?
Oh, so like after the website build, sometimes I'll want to do like Google ads, Facebook ads, or like some virtual assistant stuff. And then I'll get like a recurring income that way.
Do you have systems in place that directly make these offers to them, or are these just them kind of letting you know they want those things?
It's them just kind of letting me know.
Okay. Well, that's a major hole that we can plug as well. What kinds of companies are you generally targeting? Like, what's the offer? Websites for anybody, or?
So it first started off as anybody, but the more calls I did, I would do like plumbing, painting, remodeling, and landscape. I would say 90% of my clients now are like remodeling companies. It's so easy for them to say yes, because if they get one client, they get like a $15,000 project.
Got it. And I suppose their goal with the website is primarily lead generation, right? So right now you're building the website for them with the premise of lead generation. I assume you've got some kind of SEO package on the back end, like a monthly SEO package.
No, it's just hosting and maintenance. I don't do any of the SEO.
This is cool, man, because this is a really major opportunity, because right now you've got an offer that's converting, you're getting them onto the website. You know, a lot of these people don't even have websites. I have very old websites. But now you can, like, you should really have 3 packages, first of all.
Yes.
That's just out the gate, with different services bundled into those individual packages. So it could include local ads. So when somebody such as remodeling in Seattle, that their ads will pop up. But in addition to that, the SEO, then also GEO now, generative engine optimization. So that's kind of an upcoming service where you can help optimize for people that are searching like ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, and companies popping up. It's still early days, but that's really growing. In addition to that, adding an AI assistant to their website that handles incoming leads, that reaches out to, well, not necessarily even needs to reach out, but can reach out, and then also can book them into the calendar. Like, there's so many additional things that you can sell on the back end to help with the lead generation, the lead nurture aspect, and automation aspect. But the way that you would want to do it is have 3 different packages. So the first package would just be the website build out, which is like a website optimized for lead generation locally for your business. And then in addition to that would be SEOs, ongoing SEO campaigns to help you rank in searches. But then the power to that would be the ads. So running local ads for things like Google and Facebook retargeting, even for leads. You could add email marketing for them. You could add SMS. There's so many different services that you could bundle together very easily, and get much higher ticket deals. And the thing is that you're selling essentially a website for 1K is like your overall price point right now, yeah? And are you using some kind of discount-based offer where you offer them 2K and then you drop down to 1K? Like, you starting at 2K ever, or you're just always going right for 1K?
Back when I first started, I would like price anchor higher. So I would say like 6,000, get them down to like 2, and they would buy like that. But right now I'm just going straight out the gate, 1,000 plus a monthly hosting.
I like the 1,000 because you're going to get a higher volume of clients coming in that you'll then be able to upsell on the back end. The thing with it too is you're going to find some clients, like, they like working with you, they're happy with your work, and they'll be much easier to sell on the back end. But I would still have 3 packages, because if you have those 3 packages, what it does is it makes them aware of the other services that you offer. So if you have like 3 packages, like I mentioned, the build plus SEO GEO, the build plus SEO GEO, AI assistant, and Google Ads, for instance, then they know you do all of these other things. So you're going to find that they end up reaching out to you about those things anyway. And if they only buy the 1K price point, become a client of yours, finish the project for them. At the end of the project, you jump on a call with them. You're finalizing the project, and then you're suggesting these additional services to them. At that point, after they've already made an initial investment with you, they're much more likely to invest in these additional things. Also, because AI is really blowing up right now, all of these local businesses have heard of AI. They've heard that AI can help them grow their business. They don't understand it. They don't know how to do it. But by attaching AI services to your current, more traditional services, let's say, you're going to add a lot more value to your offer, and you're going to create a lot more interest right out of the gate. So you don't want to change what you're doing right now because that 1K offer is converting very well. All you want to do is add additional packages on top of that you can offer on the front end, and then have a back end where you're offering them these things once the project is complete, and make suggestions to them. So you're going to be much more likely to close more deals once you finish the project that way, rather than just waiting for them to suggest things to you. And the fact that you are having some clients ask you for additional services shows they know, like, and trust you. They're happy with your service. You're doing good work for them. So you're missing out on a lot of value that you could be creating for your clients by offering them these other services, Clark. And it's pretty clear that, clients like working with you. I can tell because they're coming back and asking for more things from you. That usually means you're doing a good job. So you're really undervaluing yourself and what you can do for these businesses by not offering these more complex services in addition to the simple 1K website builds. So what you want to do, in addition to creating these 3 packages and having the call after the project is complete to try to sell some of these other services, is you want to really focus on how we're going to automate different aspects of the outreach process, the lead generation process, creating standard operating procedures, and then hiring. So we should have right now standard operating procedures for everything that you do in your business. So essentially documents and training videos that detail step by step everything that you do, from the lead generation to the client management to the project, all of the templates that are being sent to clients. Have you built all of these systems within the business at the moment?
I have before, specifically the building of the lead gen sheets. So I would hire up to somebody here. They would just have like 100 leads that we need to see. And I would start dialing. But like, I kind of stopped doing that recently because I wanted to do like better quality checks on lead sheets. Because sometimes they would give me they would give me businesses with websites already that had websites. So I was like, this on the sheet, I'm targeting businesses that either have a crappy website or no website.
Got it. Yeah, that makes total sense. I think that's fine. The reason I mentioned the SOPs, and I think that this is primarily important for the lead generation and sales aspect, because my understanding is that for the client management and fulfillment, you're kind of managing that process yourself, right? Okay.
Kind of like once the client pays and we get directly into fulfillment, I just have the demo and instructions sent to one of the guys on my team. And it's like, that part is automatic. That's easy.
Awesome. Okay. So in terms of the lead generation and sales process, you mentioned that, you were working with some of your friends in the past, but the leads were dropping off on the follow-up. So were your friends really implementing the system in the same way that you would?
No. So like with me, I'll follow up with clients like daily. So if they don't answer the call, I'll just shoot a text. And then at the same time I shoot a text, I'll send an email. Whereas like some of my friends, like they'd miss in-person meetings, they wouldn't do follow-up calls, they wouldn't do any of that.
Got it. Yeah. And, I've had that experience before, like I was saying earlier, where I've hired friends and the dynamic hasn't really been conducive to optimizing results. And at the end of the day, we're building a business. We want to optimize results. That's what business is for. So yeah, I think that hiring friends can work. It's just very rarely does. And especially in the early stages of your business, you really want to focus on generating as much results as possible. And as you mentioned earlier, you're looking to scale this thing. You're looking to build a big business. And we're kind of finding a lot of things here that we can implement right away to make massive changes. So the first thing that I would do is slight changes to the offer. I don't want you to change anything that you're doing, but I would just have you add things on in terms of additional services, finding more freelancers, and having like those 3 packages and then the call at the end to offer more services. On top of that, you need to set up automated email systems where you're sending these offers to the clients after the project is complete as well via email and potentially SMS in addition to that call. Now, during that process, like once you get to the end of the project, do you have automated methods of asking for reviews and referrals?
So it's not automated, but like after the process, I'll talk to them myself and I'll ask for like a video review so I can start posting stuff on social media. But clients are really like hard to get that video review from. So like there's a few clients I have right now. It's been like a month. I've been asking for that video review.
Yeah. I mean, video
like
review.
A LinkedIn review, it's almost like automatic.
Yeah. The problem with video reviews is it's very, very high compliance, right? Like you're asking for a lot, you're creating a lot of friction by getting someone to shoot a video. You probably remember my recommendation for reviews is to literally, write the review, send it to the client and ask them to approve it or rewrite it how they would like, and then just post it on whatever platforms that you have. That's going to give you just as good of a result as a video review, honestly. Video reviews just look a bit better, but the text is fine. The most powerful thing that you can get is really just a case study. So once you start creating case studies, you've already got a portfolio of all these websites that you've built. That's all you really need. I wouldn't worry too much about the video testimonials aspect, and the conversion rate that you have right now on that cold calling system is very high. So you don't need to really worry about a lack of testimonials, in my opinion. But the issue for me is having a referral system in place, because if you're working with, contractors, they usually have friends that are contractors, and you are kind of missing an opportunity here of getting them to refer their friends right out the gate as soon as they finish the project with you. So you want to have a system, you want to have an automated email, or you could do this manually for each client, where you shoot them through an email basically saying to them something along the lines of, hey, really loved working with you. We work with companies like you, as you know, and I'm sure that you may have contacts in that space too. So if you could do me a massive favor and, CC me in an email with anyone that might be interested in my service, I'd really appreciate it. And as a thank you, I would give your friend the same pricing I gave you, the discounted pricing, or I would give you a discount on your next project with us, something like that. That will create an incentive for them to do it. First of all, it's just basic reciprocity. They want to do it because, they've built a relationship with you, right? But in addition to that, they're getting something from that discount. So they're much more likely to make those referrals. And currently, what's the referral rate in your business? How many referrals are you getting? Like, what's the percentage?
Maybe like half. Some clients I don't have to ask. Some clients I do ask, and then like they say they don't really know anybody because like everybody else is competition.
Yeah, that makes sense. They don't want to. That can make sense too. But the thing is that like what I'm kind of seeing here in your business is your clients are really happy with the result. You've got a really high close rate. The issue is just a lack of systems, a lack of back-end offers, and a lack of hiring right now. Like all we really need to do at this point is just build those SOPs, hire people that are hungry, that want to make commission, that will implement those SOPs and get results. And to find those people, I mean, there's a lot of hungry people out there. that want to do sales, that want to get sales and make money, especially online. It's a massive industry, even all these people selling like sales courses and things like that. So my recommendation would be to really focus right now on documenting your entire lead generation process, step by literal step, everything that you do, and build systems and training around your system. So essentially imagine that you're creating a course that somebody could just follow step by step to implement your exact system. Then hire people that are hungry, that actually want to get results. And what you'll do is, you're never going to know if somebody is good when you're hiring them, when you're on an interview with them. So you always want to throw them into the fire and then see if they burn, so to speak. So what you want to do is put them into the system, get them implementing it, but be tracking everything that they do and really stay on top of them, micromanaging a bit in the beginning. And you'll see very quickly if they're implementing the systems and getting results or not. You'll see directly, like, are they doing the follow-ups? Are they showing up to the calls? If there are mistakes, honestly, you should only really ever get one mistake per 6 months. So let's say, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be too agreeable with the people that you hire, that you're training. If they make mistakes, okay. But if they repeat that mistake, then they're not learning, and they're probably not going to learn, and the type of person that doesn't really care if they don't learn from their mistakes. So you want to be very aggressive. I can tell you're a very nice guy. But when it comes to the hiring aspect, you want to be very serious and aggressive with that training process to make sure that they're treating your leads as well as you would treat them. It should be the exact same level of care as you, right? So that's kind of the main hole that I see in the business that is stopping it from scaling, is obviously just hiring more people to make more calls, potentially expanding into more countries, more markets, more niches, building case studies around the niches that you do have that you can use. But your close rate is so high right now that I wouldn't really worry about things like testimonials and case studies, because you've got an offer that's converting. We just need to sell more stuff and offer more value to the clients. And you want to think about it like, hey, these clients need these different services. They're going to buy it from someone. Why not me? I really care about my clients. I really want to help them. I want to provide them with value and get them more leads. Why am I not offering these additional services to them? You're really doing your clients a disservice right now by not offering these additional services, because they like working with you so much. I would say that is the secondary thing that we really want to fix, is we don't break what you're currently doing. So don't change your current offer at all. Simply just add additional packages to it that you can sell on the call. And that you can offer on the back end, and get the systems going and hiring, posting in Facebook groups for salespeople, LinkedIn, and so on. And you'll find hungry people out there, man, that will implement the system just as well as you would. But what do you think about all of that? Like, what are your concerns there?
With the back end services. So in February, I just signed I just got 3 new remodeling clients. The website's already done, but the thing is, the location of the people that I'm getting are in Seattle, because I'm from Seattle. So if I'm running ads for a remodeling company in Seattle and I have another remodeling company client, I can only work with one of them. How would you go about dealing with that?
Well, I would discuss with both clients. I would say, look, okay, we have this offer where we run ads for a remodeling company in Seattle. I do have multiple remodeling clients in Seattle that we are working with. Obviously, I don't want to run ads for every remodeling company in Seattle. That would be anti-competitive. So what I'm going to do is just see who is willing to pay the most. And you don't want to necessarily put it in those words. We can, work on that a bit together. I would need to think a bit more about that. But the client is going to understand, that business people at the end of the day, they understand that, hey, look, I like working with you. You're my client. I want to do right by you. But ultimately, I can only offer this to one client. And, for my business's sake, I can only offer it to the client, of course, that would be willing to pay the most for it to do good by my business. Let me know what this is worth to you, what kind of result you're currently seeing from it. What is this actually worth to you? And then see who's willing to pay the most. That's all you can really do. And that's the most ethical thing to do. Either you do that or you sell the same service to all of them. It doesn't really make any sense. You see what I mean? So you want to position it from, look, hey, you're my client. I care about you. I don't want to do anything unethical. I want to be totally ethical here. So I need to do right by my business as well. And of course, I should just work with one person. So I need to figure out who would be willing to pay the most. So you want to really explain to them the entire thought process, because when you do that, everything becomes more understandable. You don't want to position it as some kind of salesy thing or make the client feel like you're just trying to charge them as much as possible, but just be legit with them. Like, hey, I've got like 4 clients, remodeling companies in Seattle. They all want to do Google ads. Obviously, I can only work with one of you guys. You just want to explain it that way, and then one of them will choose. And the thing as well is, because you've got so many different back-end opportunities for recurring services, you can do SEO for all of them. That's fine. I think Google ads is something you should only do for one. You can do AI stuff, all of them. You can do GEO for all of them. So you need to kind of consider like which each of these companies may want as well, and then just see who wants what and who's willing to pay the most for each.
I think I've offered SEO before, but when I was talking to the guy that I was going to hire to do it, he was saying realistically there won't be any results for like 6 months. And I didn't want to just take a client's money for 6 months straight without like having a result.
Yeah, no, for sure. So with that type of service, because you're not sure what the result is going to be, what you would want to do is an at-cost pilot with the client. So you can be very upfront with your client and just literally say to them, hey, look, a lot of my clients right now, they're asking for SEO. We don't currently do SEO. So what we're doing is we've hired one of the best SEO guys out there. He seems to be amazing. He has a lot of great case studies, and we're bringing him onto our team. But because I don't know necessarily what the result would be for my client-specific business, I need to run a pilot project. So what I'm doing right now is I'm offering all of my clients a pilot project at cost. They'll just need to pay for the cost of the guy to implement the SEO service. The project would be 6 months. It would cost this much per month. He has this result, this result, this result from his past work. Would you be interested in working with him as the pilot project? Once the pilot project is over, because we are offering you this at cost, we do need to create a case study from this pilot project, and you would be a part of that case study. So we're giving you this really low price, but you still need to provide us with this case study at the end of all the results that we can then use in our marketing. So, we're essentially giving you a $3,000 discount in total on this project. And it's really just for us to test this out and see how things go. Would you be interested in that?
Okay.
You're always positioning any discussion with a client in a way where they can understand the thinking behind it from a business standpoint, because they're all business people too. They understand logic. If you've got good logic here, if it makes good business sense, they're going to understand why you're doing it. As long as you're also doing things right by them, always trying to offer them the best possible offer too. And they'll totally understand all of that. So that's kind of how I come up with all of these things. Like all of the stuff I just made it up off the top of my head, but the principles behind what I say for these types of things is really just doing right by my clients in every possible way, but doing right by my business too, in that it is a business that's here to create value for clients and it's here to generate a profit. So I do need to be upfront with my clients about that. And they always will understand that. And how about the packages aspect? Like, did that bring up any kind of ideas for you on what sorts of packages you could potentially offer to your current clients?
Well, I've had clients before, so like where I've offered the monthly ads, and then we've gotten a case study. But for one reason or another, like clients drop off. So I had a painting business in Seattle paying me $2,000 per month for like a Facebook ads package plus some other things. We did in the first month we worked with him. We spent $750 in ad spend, generated $27K in revenue. And for some reason, he just wasn't happy with that. But I thought that was like extremely like awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Plumbing, we did 2,000 ad spend. We did like 45K in revenue that month. But then the next month, the guy that I had running the ads spent like 12K in 1 month and with no result, just dropped off. So there's
okay. With those clients, like when you were explaining the result to them, what was their logic behind dropping off when the result was profitable for them? Like, what was their logic?
Well, with the plumbing company, it was kind of obvious to me. It was just like the next month, the guy spent way more than he was supposed to because he wasn't watching the ad. With the painting company, they didn't really give me a reason. But I
Okay.
think it might have been like a price thing. But to me,
Okay.
like they're spending 2K on me plus another 1,000 on ads, 3K to make 30K essentially. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah,
But then I
that's
also
pretty good. Pretty good. That's very good. That's very good. Well, the positive aspect of that is because you got those results, you have case studies of those results that you can then use in your outreach. So I would still keep offering those services. You may have just not found the right clients for them who saw the value, even though there was a clear ROI here. I mean, that revenue was attributable to the Facebook ads, right? So like, how did they not like, for me it's just illogical. Like, I think that was just a fit issue in terms of the client understanding the service and the result that they were getting. Honestly, sometimes you will find clients that, even though there's a very clear ROI, especially with something like Facebook ads, they still decide not to continue with it because they look at things as a cost rather than as an investment, and they don't kind of understand that they're making money here. You know, it's a business. So that can be kind of a problem with local businesses where there's a little bit less business aptitude, let's say, right? So you will run into things like that with these more local businesses. But I think that because you got such great results with that offer, even though you had both drop off, that's just variance. You know, that's just two people. If we did 100 clients and 100 dropped off, well, then yeah, okay. But right now, we don't really have enough data to know whether this is going to be a good offer or not. Based on the two results that you just told me, that's a very powerful offer, and you should keep offering that to more clients. You should be running campaigns talking about those results you generate. Like, if you got those results for a painting company, why are you not reaching out to painting companies, telling them about the result to, you know, get more painting clients on board? That's a very powerful strategy that you can use right away too. But it sounds like you had some issues with the freelancer as well with that service, yeah?
Yeah. Another thing too is I've offered it before to other companies. To them, I guess, like even when they know about the result, the initial investment up front to them just seems like, oh, it's like too much. You know, it's like a pricing issue or something.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say a pricing issue. I would say potentially that those leads were not generating enough revenue to be able to afford the service at all. Because with Facebook ads, they need to pay, of course, the monthly retainer and then the ad spend as well. They may just not have enough cash flow to be able to afford it. So I would say it's more of a targeting issue than a pricing issue, because you can only really go so low with your pricing. But you're going to find businesses in that same niche that are bigger that can afford it. So it sounds like you're talking about certain situations where the offer didn't work out, but overall it's pretty clear that that offer is crushing because the results you're able to generate for the clients. You just need to find the right clients that have the money to be able to spend on that offer. So one thing that I'm thinking is, it does sound like you're very elastic when it comes to the price. Like, you react a lot to, you know, if you get a few rejections. Like, I'm just wondering, in terms of the outreach process, are you getting a lot of people that have issues with the price, or was it just a couple of situations that made you think that?
I think it's been a handful of situations. So like a few weeks ago, I had 3 meetings scheduled on a Saturday. And then my price I was going to go in with was $1,500. So I took the 3 sales calls. Nobody bought. And I think it was because of the price issue. They mentioned it was just too pricey at the moment. But then the next week after that, when I took some sales calls, I dropped it to 800. And then I had no objections. They were just like, okay, cool. When can we start?
Okay. No, I think that's good. I mean, that's kind of that's a more rational way of going about it. If you're making adjustments based on more than just a few events, that's fine. Like, I don't want you to start charging more and then dealing with less conversions. Like, that's never really going to be comfortable. But you do always want to think about the fact that, let's say I was charging, $2,000 and my conversion rate was 2%, and I was charging $1,000 and my conversion rate was 4%. That's essentially the exact same situation. The only difference is you have a higher volume at a lower price, which means you have more potential leads for your upsells on the back end. So that's kind of the reason that you would want to go with a lower price point, is that you're going to be generating more leads for additional offers on the back end. And you'll find that even companies that could afford more will join because of the lower price, because it feels more comfortable for them. So It would be a major issue for me, Clark, if you're selling $1,000 websites and you have no backend. So it is an issue for me if you keep doing that, because you're not maximizing what you can do for your clients in terms of the value you can offer, additional services, and you've got nothing to sell on the back end. Then it doesn't make sense to charge lower. I would just go for a lower conversion rate and charge a higher price point, have less clients. But because you're going to be adding all of these services to the back end, I'm fine with you continuing to run with the 1K price point, because we're going to be generating more leads. But I am wondering, like, in terms of the clients that you have coming in, it sounds like they're very, very satisfied with the result once they get the website. And you've had a few situations where you've sold additional services and got amazing results, but you haven't codified any of this. And that's kind of the main problem in your business right now, is you don't have a system where you're offering this, this, and this at this, and this stage. You should be making offers for all of these different services on a call with your client on the front end, and then on the back end as well, at the end of the project for the 1K website. They should understand all the services that you offer, and you should be offering all those services to them proactively rather than just waiting for them to reach out to you. Same thing with the referrals. You should be asking for referrals from every single client. I don't think that's a major hole in your business based on what you were telling me. I think it might help a little bit. The main thing is just the packages, not having additional services, and not scaling your outreach, because those numbers you told me at the beginning, man, those are amazing numbers for cold calling. Your offer is working, you're crushing. You just need to find the right people that are motivated, that are as good as you, or, you know, maybe potentially even better, that can run the system for you, and, you know, you pay them a 10% commission. And the thing about that is, when somebody's working on commission, they're not going to want to only be able to offer a 1K website anyway. They are going to want to have higher ticket packages they can potentially offer clients. So that's something that you're going to want to do first, is build out the packages that you're going to offer on the front end and the back end, and then start testing this new system out yourself, start testing these new offers out yourself. But what you're going to find, because it does sound like you're handling all the project management, you're handling the lead generation, the sales, and so on, it's going to get very time consuming, and you're going to be constrained by your time. So the caveat to that would be, you know, should we already start hiring, look for someone that's willing to sell 1K websites? Personally, like, if you look at your numbers and you say, like, okay, if I pay my salesperson a 10% commission based on my current numbers and how many potential calls I can make per day and what my close rate is, what would their on target earnings be? Like, what is the amount that they should be able to earn on that 10% commission? And then just, you don't need to tell me right now, but just think to yourself later, like, okay, they would earn 1K, like, let's say they would earn 1K per month. Well, then obviously that's not going to be worth it to them. So we need to add those packages first. If they would be making 5K per month, like, let's say they're working 8 hours a day, they're just doing calls, they're doing all their follow-ups, they're reaching out, cold calling all the leads, right? 8 hours a day. How much could they potentially earn based on your current conversion rates? If it's not like a good monthly amount that somebody would be happy with, that, you know, they would be like traveling and like chilling on a beach or something. It doesn't need to be they're living in a penthouse in New York or Dubai showing off their watches or whatever. But, like, is it a comfortable living for somebody that's hungry and wants to make sales? That's what we need to think about when it comes to deciding whether we can already hire someone or we need to add additional packages and find out what our average order value is first, once we add those additional packages. So that's just something for you to consider later in terms of the priority for these tasks in your business. But to me, those are the only two levers that you need to pull right now, is scaling your lead generation and sales system and optimizing your average order value by adding those additional packages on the front end and then many services and offers on the back end, and that all at the end. Those are the only things that I would do right now that would have a massive impact on your business. But in terms of your lead generation at the moment, Clark, like, how much time would you say it's taking you each day to do this lead generation outreach?
So it takes anywhere between like 2 to 4 hours. So since I'm in the Philippines, I have like a small window of time to catch people in Seattle. Okay. So from like 5 a.m. to like 9 a.m., that's when I'll do my list building, and that's when I'll just start calling everyone. Okay.
So because of that, like that time frame, you're quite limited by how many leads you can reach out to. Like right now, you have a cap on your outreach. So I think the more powerful thing would be if it's profitable enough for someone where they can be making a few thousand per month, like if they were working those same hours, or if we start targeting additional markets with that same offer. Like, do you feel like this offer is working for you only in Seattle, or do you feel like it could work in other locations? Like, why is it Seattle dependent?
Well, it's Seattle mainly just because I have like a Seattle number, but I recently just got somebody from Portland, Oregon, which is like the state right next to Seattle.
Yeah.
And they only answered because I saw, oh, this number might be local.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, if you have clothes, you can easily get additional phone numbers for like $6 a month, I believe. So it shouldn't be too difficult to get a number for every single state and then just start reaching out in all of those states. Definitely agree with you that you do want to have a local number for each city that you're reaching out in. That makes total sense. But that's a system that we can very easily scale. Just do that math after the call in terms of whether it would make sense for a salesperson, because they could be working 8 hours a day if they had all of these phone numbers in these different locations, it sounds like. We just need to determine how much money they would be making based on your current results. So just take like what you're currently earning based on the number of leads that you're reaching out to and your conversion rate. And then we just look at, how much time they would be working, how much they would be earning. And that will give us a good idea of whether we can already hire. And I think that if we can already hire, that would be the ideal point to tackle first, because then we can scale the outreach. And then while you're going through that period of training and finding salespeople that are going to work for your business, while you're going through that, you can also design your new packages and you can start finding high quality freelancers. And even though you had that freelancer on Facebook that got that great result and he made a mistake, honestly, that's something that may be solvable if he's getting such amazing results for his clients. Like those are really great results that you got. That sounded like a 10x ROAS or something like that. So if you're getting results like that, I would want to add that back in, for example. And it sounds like you're pretty good at finding quality freelancers, obviously being a top rated on Upwork or whatever it was. So you should be able to find high quality freelancers yourself pretty easily, but you want to tackle those two things very aggressively right now. Because like you said, like you want to earn a lot more. So all you need to do is those two things and then you're going to be good, man. Like I don't really see what's stopping you at this point. Do you feel like that is going to solve things, or what are your kind of concerns about that? Like what are your kind of doubts?
Yeah, so I think adding the backend service is going to help a lot. Another thing too is like right now in my Excel sheet, I have maybe like 20 warm leads who verbally express like they do want to buy. And then just right now I'm in like the follow process, but I've had maybe 5 to 10 leads or so throughout that lead nurturing following up process. I'll just drop off and go ghost. So I think right now, like with all the leads that I have that are warm right now, if I could get all of them to convert, like I'm doing like 15K a month, just off the front end service.
Yeah.
So I think right now is just finding the leads in Seattle. And then, because I'm using Yelp, and I mean, there's only so many cities in Washington, only so many remodeling companies. But once I have them, it's just dealing with this talking stage from, when they express interest in them buying.
Yeah, for sure. And what would you say is the most time consuming process in that whole lead generation system right now?
Well, I mean, when I do follow-up calls, I mean, it takes me like a minute per call, and sending a text to them takes like another minute. To me, it's not really that time consuming. It's just, I think the most time consuming thing is just building the lead sheets. The calling part to me is easy. Like I do that all day. But like I said, there's only so many people I can call in this city.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're very stuck on Seattle for some reason. Like I don't really understand that. You mentioned it's because of the phone number, but you can easily get more phone numbers, like $6 per month. You know what I mean? Like what's the issue there?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try that tomorrow. Get a new phone number.
You're very obsessed with Seattle, I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like, you've got a very powerful offer here that's converting really well. Like if I was you, I would just be working like a madman right now to scale that and add on more packages because your clients are very happy with working with you. Yeah. So just to kind of close things off, I want to ask a few more questions about kind of the mindset and some advice for people looking to get started with drop servicing. What do you feel the biggest mindset shift somebody needs to make from going about this and actually building an online business successfully? What's the biggest thing?
I think you just have to be like somewhat delusional. Because I mean, when I first started doing it, like everyone was like, "Oh, it might not work." Then I made it work like 2 days later. So you just have to have like, yeah, I would say you have to just be delusional with like your belief in yourself.
Yeah. No, that's 100% true. You have to have the delusional belief that you're going to do it. You're just going to make it happen. And no matter what, you're going to make it happen. And that makes you persevere through all of the random problems that take place anyway, and usually leads to you actually taking the actions that get the result because you are delusional. So, okay. Yeah. And kind of my last thing, like think about somebody watching this right now who's sitting exactly where you were before you started. What would you tell them about starting an online business and joining the drop servicing partner program potentially?
Honestly, I would just say like, just pull the trigger, because even if you come in, you do the program by yourself, let's say you do get results, cool, and you keep going. If you don't get results, well, you're just a DM away, and there's that community there that keeps each other accountable. So there's been times where I've been down, haven't been getting any sales, but then somebody posts like, hey, just sign somebody for $5,000 a month. Dude, holy shit, maybe I need to start hustling again.
Yeah, 100%, man. That's really good advice. So I really appreciate you jumping on the call with me today, Clark. We've had a really long conversation, so hopefully this gives value to everybody out there looking to start with an online business. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you achieve with all of the strategies that we talked about.
Enjoyed it.